Hey, Max.
Okay.
Hell yeah, guys! It's
Excellent.
such an honor to have you. But welcome for people at home. I'm Eric Bed, DJ Punkcast Bed from Prescription Punk Rock, and I'm with.
Max from Punks Make Noise.
And you guys gonna be in Quebec in a couple of weeks at the Punk Make Noise. But first of all, for people that don't recognize you or your voice, who the hell are you guys?
Who are we?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That's a deep question.
We've got two rAdolescents. I'm John on guitar. We got Casey drums.
Casey Royer.
Casey's
And
here.
we got the Hajj boys from the Hajj.
Phil and
Philip
Freddie.
and Freddie.
That's
Guys,
That's it, right? That's it. We're missing a few
That's it
guys
for now,
tonight.
yeah.
and I say hi to the other guys from the two band, but welcome. It's such an honor to have you. I mean, there's history with the Adolescents, but first of all, maybe for people that unaware of the Hajj and Peruvian scene, how that project started up, how you guys met, for people that don't know you in Quebec.
All right. Well, we're brothers, so that's how we met. How we met the Rads, or how we met?
They met.
It's so confusing.
So we're brothers, so we've known each other forever. We started a band, and then we moved to Southern California for the last 10 years, and our paths crossed with rAdolescents. And it's been about 6 years we've been touring together nonstop all over the world.
Yeah, we've been hanging out for like 7, 8, 9 years, just touring and hanging around. We're best friends, and we just ended up just a team. And I don't know how it happened.
Yeah,
we
we knew
don't-
these guys from Klepto before.
Oh, right, our
we were
first
in-
band.
Yeah.
Casey and I were actually in a different band that played with Klepto in Whittier at that firehouse.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Casey
yes.
wasn't there, but it was the same band that we were in.
Right.
And we've just known him ever since. And just one thing led to another. Here we are.
We actually used to live in Canada too for about 8 years.
Oh,
That's
wow.
Before we came to
Yes.
Southern California, and then before Canada, we were living in Saudi Arabia. But we're actually from Cyprus, the island.
So where did you live? Where you were in Canada?
We lived in Ottawa.
Cool.
Yeah, so we're
Ontario.
actually playing at my friend's bar, House of Targ. My good friends own that place, so I'm excited.
That's so cool. And it's crazy that you cross paths with the Adolescents. I'm sure you were fans, but to tour with them 6 years straight, it's crazy. And to bring that
Yes.
project in Canada, and you've been there, it must be really exciting. Like, after all we've been through, like, to just go off and been to all those towns and you know, a lot of people have the time to discover you guys, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky that they're awesome and they're legends, and they're letting us join them on the path they're on. So it's nice.
Yeah, and
We got back out after the pandemic as soon as we could, right? I mean,
definitely,
we were playing right at the very end of it and been playing pretty regularly since.
and are afraid of no virus at all. If I catch a cold, oh my gosh, I
Nothing
caught
can
a
survive
cold.
us.
Boy, how's that? Let's tear down the government over it.
I already had I had COVID, family had COVID, so
We all
should
got
be
COVID
good.
together as the two bands, actually.
Casey did.
Casey did-
Yeah,
they
he
did.
did.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's true.
dude, check it out. Di played with TSOL and Angry Samoans. They all got it. I didn't get it. Okay,
Wow.
we're at the Whiskey with the Dickies and some other bands. Everybody got it. I didn't get it.
Well, actually, I'm pretty sure I got it at one of our gigs, and you didn't get it. You're standing right
I'd
behind me.
like to. I'd like to. Get it.
COVID doesn't want you. That's it.
Okay, can somebody give me
Feeling-
some then?
He's feeling
So I
kind of
can
left
have
out,
some?
man.
You don't want
Somebody
it.
give
You
give him
don't
sick.
want
I don't know. It's all good. No, but
And-
I remember going into Montreal before Di toured through Montreal, and we went to the top of the CN Tower and looked, and looked down into the stadium. It looks like a Vagine kind
Oh,
of.
that's Toronto.
Toronto.
That's in Toronto. That's
Okay,
Toronto.
Montreal is a
But there's if you go to the Montreal Stadium, there's actually a ride you can take to go on top, and it's not it's I don't know how you call it, the kind of ferry that go up higher with
Teleferic.
Montreal.
I want to go. I want to go. You're taking us. You have a car?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Shotgun.
You guys, it's the Edge say it. You guys, the Adolescents, you arrive at a special time in the music history. What you guys achieve is incredible. I mean, that records to the time still. After all those years, it's still an accurate records. But How was the state of mind of you guys when you started up? You were pretty young. The scene was really unknown at that time. It was kind of obscure, just a little follow-up in California. And then you just took the world, fucking over. I'm burping my beer.
That's okay. I'll join you too. No, we were just kids with a new musical direction to take. And we just thought it was really innovative and very individualized compared to how music was back in those days. And it was fun hearing a nice, loud, overbearing guitar, blasting through when we were listening to Journey and, all those.
Journey and Peter Frampton.
Frampton, Led Zeppelin.
Elton John.
Elton John. Geez.
Yeah. Into high school. And that's what people were listening
And
to.
so we just kind of formed our friends. We were all friends from neighborhoods. We're all pretty much like that. We just all formed bands because instruments were kind of like around us a lot because Leo Fender, the guitar guy who made Fender guitars, lived in Fullerton right down the street from us. So we dig through the trash can to get old guitar parts and build our own guitars. They didn't even know they're throwing away good guitar parts. So we just were doing it and just wrote songs. And that first record that we wrote, the Blue album, it's just like, it was pretty much we just were winging it. We just really didn't have any focus whatsoever.
It was kind of that whole scene distilled down into an album.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it started. So when I was in the band, at the very beginning with Frank and Steve and Tony, we had, a certain bunch of songs, and then Casey and Rick came in and they brought, I think, a little bit more melody and harmony that together with that other stuff made that sound.
Yeah.
And it really, it's almost like if the Beach Boys or the Beatles kind of harmonies were punk rock, because they wrote it and Steve could totally pull it off.
Yeah,
right?
we had more of a melodic kind of a outlook on music. Being from California, was a little more laid back, a little more like, wasn't as aggressive, say, as New York.
And it really distinguishes it, I think.
Yeah, it's a big different sound.
It was obscure in a way with the lyrics and with Tony voice and everything, the background he got from it delivered records that, like I said, after all those years, people still discovering that records, and it's just genius. And did you feel that when you were recording it that you had something special, or as a kid you just go and you didn't really care and just wanted to do something that maybe gonna stay there, but you didn't know at all?
Well, we were kind of confident with what we were writing. We kind of were paying attention to our writing, but we were really just like kids, just making up stuff in our bedrooms and getting gigs at clubs, when there weren't any punk rock clubs available at that time, just a couple clubs.
They'd pop up, get shut down, pop up, get shut down.
And everybody would start fighting and drinking and having a great time, and they didn't like it, So that's we focused a bit on them, but I don't think we really were that talented at structuring songs like professionals would write songs. We just wrote them about stuff.
But I think that's the strength.
Like Kids of the Black Hole was about Mike Ness's apartment when I was in Social Distortion with him. And it's just that stupid. It's just about a house, where we all used to go and hang out and drink beers, because Mike's mom was in the neighboring apartment and she didn't know what we were doing.
The next door apartment, actually.
Oh my God. So that's what so we just write about, we pretty much reflect on just stuff. It's like kind of a folk music outlook, like whatever's around, or socially conscious, or Richard hung himself. That was about our friend Richard Reyes, who actually hung himself. It's just, we just write stuff that I think kind of relieves pain that we're feeling in situations, whether it be love, death, war, police. We just kind of focused our emotions and just put them into songs, and it just ended up working out really well.
And I think when you hear those songs today, when we do them live, I think you get that feeling that we got back at the Cuckoo's Nest and the Fleetwood and all these crazy places.
Absolutely. Because we have the same, kind of members from back in the day that had an input on like the sound that was really established on the first Adolescents record. So people are coming to our shows and they're actually hearing the tones and my drum beats that are more like the first, perfectly like the first album. And they start singing the songs, running in. They're like old big tattoo guys.
It's chaos.
It's insane.
Chaos.
It's so fun. Something about the vibrations of those songs and the memories and hearing them the way they were recorded initially, it just triggers people into just jumping off the bars.
It's kids who were born
crazy.
years later.
Years
I mean,
later.
did you see? There was a girl at the last gig we played at Dr. Strange Records. She was in the very front row, crying. She was crying. It was unbelievable.
I had one girl walk up to me and just buck her knees. She just fell, kind of dropped out because it was me.
Right.
I'm all like, what? What? Are you okay? I thought she had a heart attack.
Right.
But no, it's weird how we've, I don't know. We've done our thing and it worked. It worked.
And it must be surreal to, hear people emotion through, listening to that songs and maybe put some other meaning in those songs that like you wrote about everything around you, but those things like touch a lot of people. Like Kids of the Black Hole is a good example where we're the generation that was born in the dark, for example, and you point at us, you are our voice, we're the kid of the black hole, and it have another meaning, and it's incredible after all those years to reach other generation like mine. I'm 40s. And a lot of people from my generation, and I know you before fucking Tony Hawk, but a lot of the generation of The Offspring, Pennywise, discover you guys and just like go grab the records and find another world.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. We do feel kind of like really weird because we didn't fail, but we just didn't get very popular for so many years. And then we all turned 60, right? And then all of a sudden we were just like, everybody's walking around. And say Levine from Fear and Leonard, we're all kind of the same age. Yeah. So we look at each other like we're like grown up now, and we're like, how did we get here? It doesn't really make much sense, because we didn't really try to establish ourselves as big rock icons, and go to record companies, Sony and all that. We were just messing around, having fun,
chaotic
in our own world, and living our own life and our own like depiction of what life was about through our music. And it was pretty cool. We were stoked.
And I think that the kids, we see young kids at our shows. I think that they have their own, when they hear No Friends, I'm sure if they gravitate towards this music, they've gotten that feeling that they got no friends, or that somebody else has no friends.
Really universal
or
stuff.
They got their own black hole, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I think with the pandemic, there was a generation that got put, on hold for 2 years. Yeah, I can imagine being 17 and the pandemic.
That would suck.
And then, after 2 years being 19 and just like want to take the world over, and here you guys and just like, oh God, they wrote that like in the 80s, and that's my soundtrack right now. And I'm that kid from the black hole. I fucking hate everybody, and I've got that rage, and it's crazy that you can still share that and bring that to other generation after all those years. And congratulations, it's
thanks, man.
You did something that it's historical because you put everything you had on it.
Can you imagine, Casey, being locked up any 3 of our teenage years or even early 20s? Can you imagine?
We would have escaped.
Yeah, it would have been just crazy.
What would you do, Max, if you would been locked out at 17, man?
Not possible.
No shows.
Man. I don't see it.
Yeah, no. I do a bit of the same thing than you. The festival over here in Quebec City, Punks Make Noise, is it's every year. I do this for my birthday, so you remember me every year that I'm growing old a little bit. I saw Casey first time in the movie Suburbia when I was like I don't know, in '89 or something like this. I rent like the videotape at the place, and I saw I've been introduced to that kind of music like over there with that movie like long time ago, and now every year I try to bring back like old band mix with the new punk band over here and over Quebec and over the United States, near on the East Coast mostly, because we don't have money to bring band from everywhere. It's not a huge festival, but it's every year it's being bigger and bigger. Last time we had Hasides playing in Quebec City. This year you guys will play, and we will have Who Kills Spiky Jacket from Boston too will play.
Nice.
It's pretty good. And
nice.
other like street punk band like Moose Knuckle, Wreck will play too, and it will be good. You will play with the Hack from Quebec City, Disruptive from Quebec City, pretty good too.
Nice.
Sex Face from Montreal will play with you. And I think it will be a really nice festival. And you will be at the Skull Fest just like a week before,
Yeah.
a couple, 2 weeks before, right? Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next week. That's another
Yes.
great festival in Pittsburgh.
Is it
right?
cool?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's five bands playing. It's a whole weekend. Our bill is 5 bands. I forget all the bands, but it's a whole 4-day festival they have. And I think it's number 12 of Skullfest. So
Nice.
Should be a good event.
Yes.
we're looking forward to it.
And we'll all sing Bone Anniversary, right?
Yeah, please. Hey, it will be cool.
We will. We will.
In fact, my birthday will be when we will be in Montreal on the 28th. But
yeah.
we will
That's-
celebrate more in Quebec City. But I'm sure I will
Nice.
have a lot of friends in Montreal too. So
That's
that would
our
be
mother's
cool.
birthday as well.
That's
Oh,
true.
wow.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Say-
long. Good.
Say happy birthday for me. And after that, after we go to Montreal, we go at Chani Place, the guy from Inepsi, the lead singer of Inepsi, and we will record some pill session. That will be great.
Yeah,
too.
Gatineau.
Yeah,
I
the
thought you
pill
said
session.
something else.
Yeah, it's a big, and then Ottawa, and then we go
Oh, cool.
play Montreal and Toronto.
Toronto,
so that's
yeah.
a nice tour. Yeah,
I can't wait.
Really
It's
great.
gonna
It's
be
good.
amazing, and I know it's gonna fly by so fast.
I know.
Yeah,
Yes.
life goes by quick, and you know what? I can't wait to get up there, you guys, and see
Yeah.
you guys. It's going to be we're really excited, and and when we play that blue record, it's going to be like it's going
The
to
place
be
is gonna go
the
nuts.
place is going to go nuts. I mean, it's so great just to play all the songs in order. By the time we get through Who's Who and get into Wrecking Crew,
Oh,
it's just on. Everybody's running around, like the dads, the moms, the grandmas, the
Little
people
kids,
in
yeah.
wheelchairs are jumping out and running around.
They're getting up and walking.
It's
They're
true.
walking.
The
Miracles.
dead rise and walk.
Miracles are happening.
But it's so true. I was listening to the record today with the family at home, and everybody went crazy. Even the 18-month kid went crazy.
Nice.
So I can imagine. Like, it's true. There's a nostalgia in the air. People realize the impact music had in their life for the last 2 years because we lost shows. We lost that. You guys are therapists. I mean, back in the day, the adolescent, what you bring, I'm sure, was therapy for many kids that struggle with addictions, with mental issues, with things that you didn't talk about in the 80s. And yeah, you should have the fucking therapist salary. That's what I'm saying. That's the point. Government,
I
U.S.
don't know,
government.
We also played the other side quite a bit. Too.
You guys get the office. We'll be the life coaches.
There you go. So, are any of these shows all ages, or all of them? Or-
Unfortunately, not. It's really hard to have all ages.
Same here,
venue
yeah.
Over here, we have a big problem about that because, like, they have not enough kid who listen to punk music over here now to have like a all age place and just fill
Really?
it with teen. But
Huh.
in the other sense, because we don't do that, we don't have people who come at the gigs under the age of the 18. So
Yeah.
that's
So
a
it's-
problem.
so it's
we
safe.
need to have more all age venue over here. It's mostly in a bar or
Yeah, it's tough here,
gig.
too.
Yeah, so
You know, we've had a
I
few
think it's a
recently.
problem, and one of the reason over that is all the price of the rent, everything goes up, and when you have a business, you must be mainstream to have enough money to pay your rent. So
Yeah.
like that killed the alternative culture mostly. So it's hard to make some punk gig, and it's better if you do something really mainstream so you have more people and you have more money to pay your rent. So most of the people do that, so it's hard to
Gotta make
figure
the
out
money.
where is the place of the alternative culture right now.
But I don't
Right.
I don't know if you saw that maybe in the last week shows, but there's kid like 19s to 25 coming to shows. Kids I never
Cool.
saw that discovering punk rock through their TikTok or whatever because
Internet, yeah.
you know
Yeah, it's starting to
And-
change again.
yeah, there's a huge game changer right now, and I realize it when I start doing more interview with kids, like everyone around the world, and they started a band during the pandemic, and now
Yeah.
they're releasing their first EP, first record. So I'm like, okay, like the energy is getting back to the scene. So
It's
as
working,
we're
yeah.
getting, we got to step up a level again. 'Cause the kids are coming, man.
And they got some
Good.
to sing about too, you know.
Yeah, they got a bunch of crap to sing about.
When we started, it was Reagan, and now it's the pandemic.
Yeah, we played this
And
festival.
now it's Biden sleeping everywhere. So
Joe, he's going to sell like sleeping pills.
We just
I think
we
next.
just can't win. We just can't win here.
No, but you were talking about like the reaction we get to people thanking us for having been there for their lives, say 20 to 30 years ago, we've been thanked in so many different ways for so many different scenarios. It's so emotional and so awesome. It's worth more than any money could buy. And it's intense. I mean, we're people's heroes, and we're just normal people, that just happen to like be at the right time and write good songs at the right place, but and I remember this guy said DI played with the Misfits in 1985, and the Misfits kicked out the opening band from backstage. And I said, DI's going to quit. We're not going to play unless they can stay backstage with us. The opening band, they stay backstage. And so they said, okay, you can stay backstage. And the guy thanked me for that. I didn't remember even doing it, but that kind of thing kind of is flowing toward us. And it's really, really overwhelming. I mean, it's really amazing. I mean, it's just, it's really cool to finally get some, a little bit of love for what we did. And it's really feels good,
Casey, you were in Social Distortion at the beginning.
Right.
Like I said, at that point, there was no scene at all. You really paved the road for a lot of bands. But when you look at it now, did you saw something when you were doing it that, we're going to make history? That's a fact. Or it was just natural. And when you look at it now, you just... because in a way the music was so good, it was just a matter of time till you guys were considered as the way we see you now as fucking Legion.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, because we definitely we just like stumbled into it. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the answer. I mean, it's pretty weird. In fact, like when we recorded the Adolescents Blue album, we were staying in Sun Valley. It's in California. And Lisa Fancher, Frontier Records, put us all in an apartment. We're all like, the guys are like 14, 15. I was 18. Me and Rick are 18 or something like that. And so we stayed together and just went to the recording thing. And we didn't think we were very good. So we went to a taco truck. We have these taco trucks out here, Mexican taco trucks, and they sell brain tacos. Made out, it's called cabeza. It's just, and we thought that if we ate these tacos, it would make us rip on the recording. I mean, because brains make us smarter. We called it brainium. It was brainium.
Logic. Right? I believe it.
Yeah. So that was how we got so good.
That's funny.
Cabeza burritos.
Sesos, they call that.
Sesos. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It's kind of crazy.
Well, we were a couple of years younger than Casey and Rick. And when you're younger, that difference is a lot bigger. And I used to ride my bike home from school, and I remember we'd ride by Casey's house because that was on the way home, and we'd hear them playing drums and playing, and because you go down Melody, right, and then I would turn left to go to my house, and you were up to the right, and we'd hear them playing drums, playing like Led Zeppelin and stuff first, and then I started to see those early Social Distortion versions at house parties, garage parties. And then a little bit older at some of the clubs that started to pop up. And it was, that's what got us into it. We kind of looked to that. They were another generation, just a couple years older than us. So the rest of us thought, hey, we want to do that.
Yeah,
so,
we were surrounded by a lot of music at that time.
Mhm.
There was a lot of music and radio and a lot of stuff going on, to where we kind of could simulate how to write songs, because there was all kinds of bands all over the place, like big arena bands and that kind of stuff. So we weren't really trying to write songs to make it anywhere. We were just writing songs to just kind of pretend we're following in somebody else's footsteps that was somebody. And then we just wrote the songs just off the cuff.
There was a ton of bands in Fullerton. As you know, there's kind of that was sort of the center of the OC scene at the time in the early 80s. And there were, good ones, shitty ones, all different kinds of
crazy ones.
A lot of good ones came out of there, SD, Ads, DI, Agent Orange, and it just kept on going. There's still
Mike Watt.
When I made up Social Distortion,
Mike Watt was
Hey,
South Bay.
Pedro, my bad. Sorry, I just love Mike Watt.
He's on a tear.
Man, it, man.
Yeah, he is pretty cool. I love Mike. He's a really good guy.
Our bands are playing with him in October.
Yeah.
Ra'dolescents and the Hajj.
We are?
With Mike Watt and the Missing Men.
Halloween show.
Halloween show, October 29th.
You guys should come
I
down.
didn't know that.
California.
All ages.
Well, that's my wife's birthday, so
Just get a
I'm
black,
already in trouble.
get a black
I'm
mark.
curious, like each one of you, what was the first show that you saw that really get you to say to yourself, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna be better than them?
Well, I saw Kiss at the Forum before punk
Nice.
started. You know, like because I was in a junior in '76, right? So right when it
Well,
hit.
76 was Destroyer.
Yeah.
And I saw him at Anaheim Stadium on
Oh.
the Destroyer tour.
Good.
So if you saw him on one of those first 3 albums at the Forum or
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
that
yeah.
was like Dress
Kiss
to
Alive,
Kill or
Kiss
something.
Alive.
Wow.
It was really awesome. I mean, these arena shows are really cool.
Yeah,
and
they
then
were.
we're all watching them. You know, we're just like surfer, like stoner, having fun people, and then we're watching like Rush cruise through.
Yeah,
Here
yeah.
comes
All
like
those bands.
all these giant bands that were just we're like Kiss, and we could play drums and guitars if we really hit them hard enough.
Sure.
And so we just kind of did that.
Kind of dumb it down a little bit. And
yeah. And there was girls at the parties and beers and stuff, and why not?
sure.
Exactly.
So what's your favorite, Max?
And you, Diage, what was the first gig you saw that make you like, we're gonna play music?
I
You
think
get to your home and say to your brothers, learn to play an instrument. We're gonna
Right.
play.
I think when growing up, we had music in our family always, and our grandma was in choirs. Our grandpa used to perform all the time, so it was always from the beginning,
Yeah.
just from the home, that we knew that music was our life.
Yeah.
Not as good as Kiss, but okay.
Well,
No,
I mean, that's, we grew up in Cyprus, so like it's an island near Greece. So we didn't get anything.
we didn't
know
get
any of the
Western
stuff.
music over there.
Like so
They were
it's
heavily censored in that area. And
Interesting.
the music
not even
on the-
censored. It's so far away. Like
Tell them how
know.
you learned listening to the marine-based radio stations.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
when we moved to Saudi Arabia, where back then music is still kind of illegal, we would get music from the American base,
on the AM wave.
and we used to
band.
get not Rick, what's that radio station?
Rick something.
KLOS.
No, Rick,
No,
From out
Cammy
here?
T.
Rick
No.
D's?
Rick D's.
Rick D's. We used to get Rick
in the
D's
weekly top
in
40.
Saudi, and that's my closest
That's not a
connection to
station, that's a
Western
guy.
music I
That was
had
awful.
growing up.
But this was in like 98.
Things have changed a lot in Saudi. They're not like that
So-
anymore, but yeah, it's been interesting. And we used to our parents would always encourage music, so all the locals and friends would come to our house to play music. So
Yeah.
that's kind
we
of
had the
how
jam house.
music fell in our lives almost 24/7.
You two realize that Rick D's did Disco Duck, right?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Google Disco Duck. You'll just be
It's not good.
disgusted. It's really bad.
Anti-pop.
Hey, it's the Americans, not
Really
me, all
bad.
right?
It's not our fault.
Yeah, I born in '76, so that's pretty interesting that you say that first gig I saw in '76. For me, it was like the Dayglow abortion, but it was more like in
That's nice.
'89 or something. But,
Wow.
Am
if
I
you
your
go-
dad?
Oh, maybe, maybe. You never know. But if you go to West Coast, like Vancouver or around there, like Dayglow Abortion must be a good band to play with. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
old,
Deal.
yeah, it's a whole band from Canada. Really
Keith.
interesting. Yeah.
A lot of good bands. We lost Chai Pig, SNFU from Edmonton, and that's kind of a drag because he was
Yeah.
just really influenced us a lot because he was from Edmonton, cruising down to Southern California. We're all like crazy Asian guy swinging his dreads and just out of control, really talented. I mean, the mix of all of our bands that were in that era in the 80s were so unique and different and talented and interesting and really fun to watch. And just, I mean, it was crazy. I was backstage with Chai Pig once sitting and eating food, at a table before the gig. And he looked around all weird the way he does, grabbed the plate, threw it against the wall in the kitchen, said, "I didn't want chicken," and ran out. And we're all, okay, there you go.
I think I saw DOA with the lineup of Joey and Randy Rampage and Chuck Biscuits. I think I
Yes.
saw them more than I saw any other lineup.
Even ourselves.
I've seen them at the Starwood several times,
I-
Whiskey several times, a bunch of times.
God, Biscuits was so good. And
Amazing.
Joey's the best.
And
And
Rampage.
it's crazy because I did many interview with Joey, and he said, I'm so pissed off that I didn't record more with that lineup because
Oh,
that
wow.
was
Great,
the classical DOA
Really was.
lineup, and
Those-
we should have do more. But
Yeah,
with,
something
you
better
know,
change and that Triumph of the Ignoroids and what was the other one? Oh, Hardcore 81.
Oh,
They're
the
just
enemy.
fucking classic.
Oh my
classic
gosh,
stuff.
DOA was one of our favorite bands from the
Yeah.
very beginning. Because when we started the bands, like all the bands that are kind of our equals now, we didn't know, and we thought they were untouchable because
Oh, yeah.
like because they're
They're
like
just
famous.
gods. Yeah.
discharge,
Yeah.
discharge, exploited. We'll never see those
Mhm.
guys or know them, and now we're best friends with these guys. And it's all like, hey, Waddy, what's going on?
Yeah, I did an interview with him, and nobody
Great.
can translate what he said. And
I
I
remember-
still to that day, I don't know a shit. Like I remember one time he asked me a question like, "Oh, and I said yes." And he got pissed off, and I should have said that.
Wrong.
You know, in
answer.
the interview, the movie called "Punk's Not Dead," they do an interview with Watty, and they have subtitle. Like it's an English interview, and they put subtitle on this interview. I was like, "Fuck!" And they put subtitle. It's like
He's a
little
survivor.
funny.
So it's if it's a
Yeah,
yes or
for
no,
sure.
you're 50-50, right?
But
I went
you-
to dinner with Waddy, and he had like we're at the Olympic Auditorium in 1982, right? It's DI, it's this huge place, and we're getting food orders, right? And they're all, "What would you like?" I'm, "Oh, the cheeseburger, have the pastrami sandwich." "Waddy, what would you like?" "Oh, I'll have a block of cheddar cheese and a bottle of peppermint schnapps." We're all, "For dinner?" And then he was drinking it, takes a bite
Block
of the
of
cheese.
cheese.
And to this
Shit.
day, I'll chase my beer with cheese. I do. I got
Breakfast of
I got
champions.
cheese in my pocket right now.
But you guys, you stick to it, and like I said, you release songs and records that meant a lot back in the days to a lot of people and reach a lot of generation, and that's why Discharge are still accurate. That's why Exploited are still accurate. And if you go catch them live, they're are fast and wild as back in the days. It's in your blood. And thank you for sticking to it. That's what we're gonna get in Quebec City, and for us. It's a small, Quebec is it's a village. It's a big village.
Nice.
It's not like Montreal, but we're gonna be really lucky. And like you said, we're gonna go nuts. We're ready for that.
I think so, yeah.
That's going to be so much fun.
I'm looking forward to it. Last time we went to Quebec was to go to the American Embassy to apply for our visas. So this time it's way more
Full
exciting.
circle.
I can't believe I'm
It's not the same trip.
Yeah, it's not.
I've never had best friends from Saudi Arabia and the island of Cyprus, in my life. And these guys are like brothers. It's like we connected so in an odd way, and we don't even kiss each other or anything. We're just good friends. You know what I mean?
Not anymore.
Family.
Anyway.
Yeah, not anymore.
Well, we tried. We
Stop
tried.
that. Yeah.
So, rAdolescents, how's gonna be the rest of the years and next years? There are shows and shows. Is there anything in the air, you guys, with that lineup? Record something, or I don't know.
We've got a couple
Uh-oh.
things that we started on.
There's some things
There's
in the works.
ideas.
and we're
floating around,
working
right?
on some stuff.
Yeah, we're definitely going to work on. We've decided to work on a new album with Rick and me and the guys that were in Adolescents.
Frank.
In the same vein of the first Blue record that Rick wrote, and I wrote one song, but we're gonna do a new record.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna be called the
Rick is
Purple
like
album,
in
right?
training
Purple.
right now. Rick is in training. He's like getting in shape. He's like just ready to do this. And we have a new song called Protozoa, Son of Amoeba. It's another one-celled organism, and it's a protozoa is the brother of amoeba, and we're gonna.
Oh.
And we're gonna do that. That amoeba was going to my throat right now.
I think so. COVID.
We do have a bunch of shows coming up as well during the year.
And we are going to record
we're
a
pretty
new
booked
album.
up.
and record and then go to Europe. Hopefully, that's the plan.
And check it out. I think this is going to be the greatest rock and roll comeback in history when me and Rick write and you, John, all of us write another Adolescents record like we did a
Oh,
long
yeah.
time ago without different band members flying around. Now we could just throw the real thing at them, and it sounds like we did back then.
We
So
just have to decide: is it the red album, the purple album?
I think we're going to call it the Red album, but purple is a divine color.
Could be
merging
the
two
green
base
album.
colors. Purple has red and blue.
Can't do the black album or the white
It
album.
should be a base color.
Well, that's Spinal
But
Tap.
don't mix the color, because it's gonna be the brown album. It's not good. Don't mix the color. Pick one.
That's a whole other thing.
the brown note.
And last weekend was the Rebellion Festival in Blackpool, UK. I saw the other lineup, Adolescent, in Blackpool like 4 years ago. Are you planning to go to Europe and maybe at Rebellion or something?
Hopefully.
We're working on it for next year. Hopefully.
We got passports.
I was touring with DI 2019, did a 30-day tour in Europe, and I was telling everybody that we got more of the original members that were together in their Ra'dolescents than Tony's got going right now, and He's still calling it like us. And and the
Wonder
guys,
what you remember.
everybody at the clubs said, we know what you're doing. We know what's going on, because internet, Facebook, all that stuff. Everybody knows every little thing that's going on, so like, they're all like, we want you over here in Europe. And I mean, I've had people saying, get the rAdolescents over into Europe, so we might do Rebellion next year, because DI is going to do Rebellion, and we're going to try to get the rAdolescents over there for Rebellion next summer.
I will try to be there next year. So maybe saw you there next year too.
We have a giant team now, and you're a part of it, because we're going to be in your neighborhood, and then Blackpool's not that far from you.
It's over the pond.
You can almost swim there from Quebec.
Good swim, but maybe if I go back to the gym or something.
Little Red Bull.
Yeah. Wetsuit pins.
Yeah.
It's been fun touring, and then hopefully we're gonna go to Florida in November too.
In
Florida tour.
January.
Oh,
Yeah.
January, right.
It's in the works.
Yeah,
And
California.
Instead of East Coast.
Hawaii's
Yeah.
in the
I love
plan.
Florida.
Yeah, just go everywhere as much as possible is what the plan is.
The
Well,
cool,
you can
the
still
cool thing
tour.
about these guys, they're almost always say yes. Very rare that they can't do it. So it's pretty awesome.
They ask us every quarter or so, what are your blackout dates?
And then they forget
And then
because they're kind of old.
There's too much going on.
Paying attention's just way overrated.
Right, yeah.
Bookers, it's on your camp, man. If you want to book the rAdolescents next year, so
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of festival out there, man. You have to have them. It's crazy that you guys are doing it again. For people like me, I repeat myself, I'm 40. To see that the whole record, it's
Youngster.
crazy. Did you ever play the old records back in the day when you release it?
Our records?
Yeah, the blue records. Did you?
I
play
just
in its
listened to the-
entirety?
Did you ever do it before like that? Entirety?
What do you mean? Listen? Oh, no,
Play it.
no,
In the
no, no,
past?
no. Never
the
did
first
it. Never
thing,
did
huh?
it the first time. Yeah. And then my mechanics on drums is weird, because I was a kind of a jazz drummer. My uncle was a jazz drummer in the 60s, and I was like about 8, and I was watching him play drums. So he had kind of a shuffle beat with his his style. So I kind of absorbed that, style, and it's kind of unique in the rock world, I guess.
Yeah, there's a certain beat that Casey has that's not straight, like
1 2 1.
anybody
1, 2,
that just goes out and tries to play the songs. It's slightly different. It's a bit of a swing to it.
and I could talk too while I play. That's a lot of fun. It's weird. We'll play Amoeba in DI. We'll play Amoeba in the Rads. Tony will play Amoeba in his band. Everybody's Amoeba's like in a brand new Call of Duty 5 video game.
The whole fucking
Just came
petri
out last
dish.
month. I mean, it's crazy, that Amoeba thing. Like, I just made it up from a high school biology
a
class.
TV show, right?
I was sitting there looking at Mr. Coke was his name, and we're all like, "Oh, yeah, Coke, with a K, with a K."
Mr.
And we're all
Coke.
like, "That's an amoeba. That's so weird. Look at that thing. It's like, what is that thing?" And then, so why not write a song about it? It's so weird,
I used to talk to Mr. Coke in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool thing is we all went to the same schools and stuff. It's not like
But I always wonder, back in the days when when the record was released, was Amoeba was like the anthem, like maybe Y'all Brigade when they released like Sink in Florida. I think it was like the brew hymn of that era. Like, was it Amoeba was like that? Because when Tony Hawk was released, it was, that hit, that punk rock gem that was, fucking punk rock hit songs.
Well, there was a couple albums released at the perfect time to have like the kind of like, exposure of that song to be massively put around. Like it was, there was the Rodney on the Rock, Rodney Bingenheimer from
Yeah,
K Rock.
Rodney was
It was
huge.
on his very first punk rock compilation.
Oh, okay.
There wasn't a punk compilation ever before that.
Ever, yeah.
And
Now
then,
there's a
and then
million.
Posh Boy, Robbie Fields, like I think he put out a single, had some ballerinas on it, purple vinyl. I'm all like, all right, okay. And then Amoeba's been, all over the place. It's in Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty. It was in a movie called Beach Party. It's just been all over the place just because it was exposed just at the right time when there was a frenzy of people trying to figure out what was going on.
I mean, even if you don't listen to punk, that song.
Yeah, there was a guy that was like a yuppie, just businessman. There was a guy standing like at the gig, and he's all like looking at us. He's all, "I've heard that song before," but he looked like he was like, the president. And it was his son was playing it on the video game, and he heard the
that's
song
crazy.
on the video game in the house.
That's great.
Yeah, it's just like connected with everything.
That's
Travis
cool.
Barker just covered that song.
Did he?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
weird.
That's crazy.
What's wrong with him?
I don't know.
Obviously,
Cool.
he did.
He was in the Aquabats.
There you go.
Guys,
Aren't they?
it was
They
such an honor, seriously, to have you on Prescription Punk Rock. I repeat myself, you guys gonna take over the whole Quebec. It's gonna be crazy. And Max, how you felt about that? It's in a couple of weeks. It's your birthday. Fucking rAdolescents gonna be there. Yeah.
Fucking nervous, man.
Oh,
It's, a
Me
little
too,
bit.
Max.
I'm
Not
ready or
just
what?
for not
I'm
just for the
nervous.
gig, but I mean for all, like the tour. To I want everything to be
gonna be
really
great.
good.
It's
I
gonna be
want every gigs to, because like in Quebec City it's 3 days. It's four gigs, but it's 3 days with 4 gigs. We have on the 25 here at Scanner Bistro where we are, the 25 and 26 here. Then the 27 during the day we have like a illegal gig under the bridge, like called the Limoilou Punks Invasion.
Bring the cops.
Yeah,
I wanna go.
We will see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be really nice. And then on the night we have like the main gig at La Source in Limoilou, and that's the main gig. And then just before that, you guys will be at Alma on the 25 with Sam, who's not here tonight, but you will be with him. I will stay in Quebec for the other gig.
You
then
gonna
we go.
love it.
Then we go
Yeah.
on the 28th, like in Montreal. Then
That's gonna be
Pill
good.
session at Gatineau. Then the gig in Ottawa at House of Targ, and then the Toronto
Yeah.
gig. So it's a lot of thing to.
Hard
it's a lot
luck.
of it's a lot of thing to think
Yeah,
about,
minding.
and be sure like everything's cool, and you will love your trip, because that's the final goal I want to achieve. It's like everybody's win-win in this. Everybody's cool with this. Everybody have fun. Everybody like said when you live, you said, oh, okay, Quebec City was pretty cool. The festival was pretty nice. And then the people talk to other people. And that's the way we have some other band who trust us and come to visit us in Quebec City. We try to put back like the more, I'd say, like old school punk scene on the map, because over here it was like pretty dead from a couple of years. Then we start back. Punks make noise, like the festival and the booking, DIY, and all the people are really nice and benevolent. Everybody is benevolent, and all the money go for the festival. Every gig we made, and like that's the way like the punk scene must work, I think. So
That's the way we work.
Exactly,
And-
yeah.
pretty
yeah,
much.
exactly.
so
And you guys are so happy. I can't believe I'm so stoked because your personality, Max, is going to like carry the whole city. You know what I mean? You're the new leader.
Well, we're definitely,
Yeah,
you're we can pretty much guarantee you're gonna love it. We haven't had any complaints yet. We have a blast doing it. So
And I can't wait to sing happy birthday and throw those cupcakes at
yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, it's always happened, and I'm always like, oh no, not again. But that's my fucking problem, because I made all this festival for my birthday, so I have to deal with it anyway.
Extra
It's
Panadols.
one goal, and I think that I'm sure you guys notice it in California. There was a huge hole between the street punk scene and the skate punk scene, the melodic skate punk scenes. Like I said, the Pennywise and everything. But you guys collide that together. There's a few bands that did that, Social D did that too. And it's cool, because that's what I think the whole festival is all about, bringing everybody and make everybody feel happy and in a safe environment where nobody's screwing nobody. It's just it's not back in the days when are we gonna get paid tonight? I don't know. Maybe we're gonna fight the booker.
I remember those days.
oh yeah.
Who will be paid? So don't fight the booker. I can guarantee.
Me, I have no stress, man. I'm just waiting for the show, man. You take all the risks, but
I
it's
do wanna
amazing.
that you guys have been doing an amazing job. We've dealt with a lot of promoters and bookers, and you guys are top 5 for sure. So thank you for
Thank you,
that.
man.
I mean, it's all about DIY and the music and about having fun, and we can feel that. And that's what we're doing too. The Hajj too, and the Rads and everybody. We're just there to play music and see people dance and like
That's the number
feel
one
it.
goal.
Feel alive for a bit. So we're excited to be there. It's gonna be good.
Like
Yeah,
I said,
cool.
every time, man, if you got money, go encourage the band, buy merch, buy t-shirt, whatever. And if you don't,
Yeah.
just fucking learn the songs and go sing them
Sing
fucking loud.
exactly. Yeah.
Go to a show.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great one. I can't
Start
wait
a
to do
band.
this because you know what? Because going to an area like you're referring to is so much fun for us to do because it's like an adventure with our own family that we haven't met yet. You know, it's kind of a brotherhood, you know.
Cool.
It's gonna be
And
awesome.
you know, it's kind of weird because there's not that much violence back in the day. I mean, there'd be
Yeah.
fights all the
At the
time,
beginning,
you
it was
know,
always
suicidal tendencies from like South Bay. They'd have their own pit. You know, they'd have their own pit with their own gang. You wouldn't go in that one, you know, because they were just, you know, and now everybody's kind of like a little more diluted, kind of with just like not wanting to go to jail or get their head kicked in anymore. And you know, because
Yeah.
we had
I like
point,
that.
we had a point to
Yeah.
prove. We had a point to prove back in the day.
Yeah, you guys are different
Because
back
we
in the
just
day,
started it following kind of the Ramones and the Sex Pistols. I remember I got the 7-inch single, you know, God Save the Queen, and you know, no ill intent for the Queen, guys. So it was just like we just like did it.
And keep in mind, at that time, us and our friends, you know, in the band stuff, we're the only ones listening to that. Everybody else, like you said, was listening to ELO and Peter Frampton and stuff.
Oh
and,
God, don't say Peter Frampton.
you know,
Oh
there was
God,
a
I'm
lot
out
of,
here.
you know, a lot of that opposition, let's say.
Elton John.
Yes.
But I liked Elton John a little bit. He had some good songs. But you know what? Everyone's kind of mellowed out because all of the parents, because it's weird. Like we played this festival, Punk in the Park, out here in California, and all these 14-year-olds ran up to me, and they looked like they were in junior high. Right? I'm all like, I'm counting on my fingers. Well, that's our kids.
Right.
Kids.
Grandkids. Yeah.
So that's the fourth generation of 13, 14-year-olds. All of them have like circle jerk shirts on, Black Flag, and they all look like, you know, they're like from, you know, they're like little kids.
Yeah.
And they're all, my dad gave me Suburbia and all the records. And, you know, I'm just going, you know, I couldn't believe it. It was like kind of a trip because the parents and the kids for the first time were into the same music. You know, like my parents liked different music. I was like a rocker. They were more like into, you know, classical or, you know, whatever, big band or whatever. Right. It was all like, there was never emergence of music and the parents of the kids. And now that has happened.
That's true. Yeah.
And the grandkids now. So, hey.
Yeah,
Well, my kids got to roll their eyes at me what I'm doing. Have a nice gig.
Yeah.
Mine love it. You know, we bring those kids to our world where I think our parents try to leave, you know, us out of there. You know,
Exactly.
I think that's the difference.
It's a beautiful thing too, because it's such an emotional bonding for just, you know, just goodness in general. Because, you know, you need to combat your parents. You know?
After my parents ripped down my Alice Cooper poster, they ripped down my Kiss poster, and then they ripped down my Sex Pistols poster.
Oh, they
and
found
then-
my pot. They found my pot.
Right.
They threw it on the barbecue, and I'm all,
Oh no!
burger's gonna taste like pot now, Dad. Shut up, son. You don't be a drug user. Oh God! Now pot's legal.
Now it's like you
it
give
was
the
a
kids
joke.
pot.
It didn't care. It was just a big stupid thing anyway.
And I'm sure they try. My parents try many times since it's legal. Like when they were blaming me back in the days, and now it's okay things to do on your Friday. Like let's get high. You know, it's Friday.
Oh
It's
my
legal
God.
now.
I cannot imagine my parents trying it.
I got some pot right here in my hand. Look, that's a little vape pen.
Hell
going.
yeah, you're gonna love it. We got many and diversity and everything. And if you like weed, we're gonna talk about that because I'm a fucking weed geek and beer geek too. We got good micro beer. We got good weed.
Sounds good.
We'll make an earth pipe.
Yes, let's do that.
You know how to make that? You just like just on the earth. You get a flat piece of earth, and then you make a tunnel,
Oh,
and then you put the herb in the like one little hole, and it goes underground. And then you suck off the earth. You suck off the earth.
Let's suck on the earth on Punk Make Noise. Seriously,
a new
guys, thank you so much for your generosity. I really had a blast. I'm sure
you.
Max too.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
You guys are.
We're just
Man,
getting
I
started.
can't wait. I can't wait.
Be awesome.
Thank you
We'll
very
see you
much.
guys
for
in
the
less than
interview.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for that, and I'm sure it will be really great. And we will go promote a lot on the radio. We'll
Sweet.
probably have another interview in Montreal
do
maybe next week. The T-shirt, we will have T-shirt for the
the
tour.
T-shirts.
I'm working on that. That will be
Yeah,
really
yeah.
beautiful, and I think
Awesome.
everything will be really nice. So I can't wait to have you down
Very
here
cool.
in
Oh,
Quebec City.
but there's one thing important. People at home, that's you who we need. So buy tickets, go to the show. Don't fucking wait. It's going to be sold out. It's going to be jam-packed. We're going to have a lot of beers. And if you want to spill beer on me, do that. After 2 years of pandemic, I don't fucking care, man.
He's the new target.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring some. But just try to reach my mouth just a little
Yeah,
bit
so
when you
good.
throw
Right,
beer.
right,
Oh,
right.
hey, have you ever done a shotgun? Have you ever shotgunned a canned beer?
No, I don't think I never shotgun to a
You're
can of
gonna
beer.
learn.
Okay.
You're
yeah.
gonna learn.
Cool.
You're gonna learn. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Well, we'll have to adventure into that realm next
Right.
time. But,
Guys,
yeah,
amen.
thank you. You know,
Alright.
you guys are
Thanks
awesome.
a lot, guys.
Thank you,
See
guys.
soon.
Keep doing what you're doing. The scene needs you guys.
Totally.
Au revoir.
And the special's gonna air on Monday on CKRL 89.1. It's the first
Yeah.
francophone station in the whole
Eh, oui,
Canada. Yeah,
Oh,
outside
wow.
government. So
wow.
we're gonna do you special. Mac's gonna be there. We're gonna,
Nice.
I'm sure, maybe have the guy from Destructive, but we're gonna do you special. Play a lot of songs from U2 band. And thank you, Ken White, and people again.
Thanks,
Go
guys.
buy merch, tickets, everything you can. We want
Do it.
them to come back here after that. Thank you, guys.
Beautiful.
Yes.
All right.
That's the plan.
Thank you. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Bonne nuit.
Yeah, bonne nuit. Have a good night,
Bonne
guys.
nuit.
See you in 2 weeks.
Au revoir. Voulez-vous coucher avec my canard?
Ce soir, voulez-vous coucher? On va avoir de la poutine ce soir.
Okay, we'll play that song. We're gonna learn that one. We're gonna play
Good.
No, just happy birthday to Max.
Yeah, maybe.
And a cake to throw in his face.
We'll take gold now.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
that. He's gonna be.
Bye bye, guys.
See you in 2 weeks.
See you guys. Bye.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Bye, guys.
Bye.